Hello, everyone. Michael Jordan fans are the best. And today we're going to be talking about if LeBron James is going to flop off a cliff this season in regards to his production in NBA. But first, Let's go introduce the panel. How are you today, Hoop God?
Man, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, panel Dart. I am feeling great today, ready for another great episode because it's imperative that we destroy these narratives.
Hey, wait. How are you today, sir? You're before Robin.
I'm before Robin.
You know how you usually follow up his energy?
Oh, all right. So let me check. Yo, YouTube, you know what's going on? I can only carry that out for a few moments. I'm fatigued. It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you guys.
Absolutely. We got Nick NMB Sports. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Glad to be here as always. Short and simple as always, too.
And we got Robin. How are you today, sir? Sports and Fitness Rants.
Once again, you guys know the deal, man. It's great to be back. Let me just say, man, my man AOH Hoop God is in the building. Nick, as usual, short and sweet. My man Dart. Everybody out there in the chat, man, what's up? I am back like Michael Jordan wearing the 4-5, man. I'm ready to do another Sunday live stream, man. Thank you guys once again, man. It's great to be back again.
Absolutely. So, Hoop God, I'm just going to come in hot. Is LeBron James going to flop off a cliff this season?
Okay, so looking at the title, right, I had to really dissect this. Is he going to flop off of a cliff? Well, I would say, of course, he's going to flop. We know that. But I would have to also add in, well, it's not going to be a very far fall, seeing that, okay, he doesn't play defense, so he's already down a lot of levels. He's still not he's an average free throw shooter at best. So I got to bring him down a little further. People love to gloss about his three-point shooting. And I'm like, okay, well, Draymond literally shot 39% from three. So that's not really moving me. Seeing that Steph Curry and these other guys are doubling their three-point output and have a higher percentage. So the only other conclusion that I came to is he going to struggle with his layups and his dunking ability? Because that's the only place his efficiency quiet is kept. Because, they'll try to mislead people with a field goal percentage until you ask, hey, where is he shooting the ball from? So I would I'm going to be a little bit optimistic and say, I don't think he's going to really fall off a cliff, seeing that he's already at a very low level as we speak right now. Now, if he starts to struggle with his layups and his dunks, I'll come back and recant my message. So to sum it up, I mean, he's already at the cliff where he's maybe 1-2 levels above the bottom floor. So if he does fall, it's not going to be a very far fall for me. So.
Real fast, so we got a super chat already from Just a Messenger. I don't know who it has gone to with the ticker at the bottom. Please, it says it on here. Please say who you're super chatting into, but it's $1.99, $2 just because Michael Jordan fans are truly the best.
That's got to be for you.
I'm about to say it. Come on, man. It's a slogan.
It may have been intended for me, but it's not coming from my channel. But I guess since that's the case, Michael Jordan fans are truly the best. Thank you. Hey, Witch.
Yes.
Is LeBron James going to flop off a cliff this season?
Thank you for letting me go after Hoops God, because I agree that what they allow him to do with the layups is really going to be the key here. The guy, you can see on the other baseline when the roids have taken over and he's just going to charge to the other end. And the defense is required to backpedal. If they keep letting him do that, I mean, who couldn't keep scoring into their 50s if you're allowed to just run over people, swing your elbows and travel, and they aren't allowed to guard you? I would love to see people put up roadblocks and just actually clog the lane, like Williams did that one time. And even that was gentle. He respectfully wrapped him up. I want to see a big dude just plant himself and say, come on, bitch, run into this roadblock. Because LeBron James does not like contact. He wants to deliver contact, but he doesn't like when there's any contact stopping him. He would come crashing in a humiliating manner if the league actually implemented a stop the bulldozer rule or tactic or philosophy approach to the game. I think that would be the most embarrassing end for him if he wasn't allowed to keep resorting to that. Because instead of developing his game like we saw Jordan do in his later years, LeBron has gone back to how I started playing basketball. You know, you start shooting at the rim in the corner with your basics until you can move outward. LeBron's moving inward.
All right, Nick, what do you got to say about this? Is LeBron James going to flop off a cliff?
You know, statistically and efficiency wise, last year LeBron actually was not that bad. I do think, however, if it not counting last year, the previous 5 years, he only played over 60 games once. I think if LeBron has a fall off, I think he's going to miss some time this year. I think the Lakers are also going to really struggle if LeBron is still going to need the ball in his hands as much. Again, falling off a cliff, if you kind of believe in linear progression, then you probably believe in linear digression or regression in a way. So is he statistically going to fall off a cliff? I don't really think so. I think he will regress a little bit, just father time, right? That's the way it is. But I do think that LeBron's going to miss a lot of time this year. And I think the Lakers are a play-in team at best. I think they're going to struggle. I think Hoop God kind of mentioned it. I think defensively, LeBron might get a little exposed this year if he is not 100% healthy all the time. And again, the energy, I know we call him Labalco and all that stuff, and there's the PED allegations about how he's stayed so youthful and how he went from Cleveland to Miami that one summer and came back and was, 10 pounds of muscle heavier and in phenomenal shape and rejuvenated, right? But taking that aside, right, I just see him probably defensively getting exposed. I think the Lakers are going to struggle this year a lot. I do think with JJ Redick and Bronny James Jr., I think it's going to be a circus. So I do think I am looking for the emotional collapse of LeBron more than the physical or the statistical collapse, if that's what I'm trying to get to, right? I think emotionally we're going to see LeBron act out a little bit and do some things that's going to hurt his image.
Oh, what a change. What a change.
Well, I think even, a lot of people will say, oh, he's competitive and he wants to call. I'm talking about like off the court, on the bench, with the coach, with his son. I'm really interested to see emotionally how this year plays out. That's kind of where I'll leave it.
All right, Robin, what do you got to say about all this? You look a little distraught with that answer.
Nick, hold on. What the hell are you talking about? You literally I was with you for a minute, and then you completely lost me. You started saying he's going to start doing some things to really tarnish his image. What the hell's the man been doing in the league for the past 10 years? That's all he's been doing. Why do you think when he came to LA, they vandalized his murals from day one? Because his image was already tarnished, and he continues to do that. But let's back up a second here, and let's understand something. Nick, when you talk about the statistics of LeBron James, what we're talking about here is the standard that has been lowered for LeBron James. So for LeBron James, he's allowed to put these quote-unquote numbers up, these stats, on a team that's mediocre at best, a team that's hovering around the plane every season, like you mentioned, a team that has not finished above the 7th seed since he's been in LA since the bubble season. So essentially what we're talking about here is a guy who's been getting paid all this money, who's been acting the way he's been acting, like you mentioned also, who got the lack of defense that he has been playing in his Laker career, let's say. And yet and still, this man's going to get the credit because he's putting up the stats on a mediocre team. Once again, being carried by who? Anthony Davis, the true savior of the Los Angeles Lakers, who has been the savior since he requested a trade. Now, let's think about the question falling off a cliff here. I believe that LeBron James has been in a steady decline for quite some time now. A steady decline for quite some time now. But if we want to point to a sharp decline, let's think about his first year in LA. What happened his first season in LA? He comes to a Los Angeles Lakers team that only won 35 games in the previous season. He gets there, they win 37. He plays about 45 games. He activates playoff mode that season. All of a sudden, nothing happens. The Lakers do not even make the playoffs that year. And what's the funny thing about that scenario as opposed to the other scenarios? Well, LeBron James did now go to a team with other star players. So this is not LeBron James going to Miami with Chris Bosh and others. This is not LeBron James going to Cleveland with Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, and others. This is essentially LeBron James going to LA by himself to prove what? That he can make the players around him better, which he did not do. So that's the cliff. So what happened the next season? Luke Walton is fired. They trade guys like Brandon Ingram. They trade the other guys like Alonzo Ball. And what happens? They bring in who? An Anthony Davis who requested a trade off of his team. Are you kidding me? That's the cliff, man. LeBron James is once again have the standard lowered. He's allowed to put up stats on a team that doesn't win. So where's LeBron James being held to a standard of winning? He's out there playing for nothing, the money and the fame.
Where's LeBron being held to a standard at all?
Let me tighten up what I said a little bit. We all know that I am not a fan of LeBron, right? Maybe what I should have said is I think that even to LeBron fans, I think LeBron will do some unsavory things this year if they begin to struggle. Maybe I should have put it like that. And then statistically also, again, I do think he will continue to regress. I said that I think Lakers are at best a play-in team if Anthony Davis and D'Angelo Russell somehow step up and Austin Reeves takes another step or whatever, right? It's going to take a team effort. But if LeBron is still somewhere around where he was last year, again, I don't think he's going to be as efficient. If he puts up those same numbers, that's why I think the Lakers will struggle, is because he will be still demanding the ball as much. I don't think he'll be as good. So the Lakers will struggle largely because of LeBron kind of being an albatross around their neck a little bit, right? And if they begin to struggle, which I think they will this year, that's what I'm thinking is going to be juicy, right? Is if they start to struggle, I'm kind of waiting. Like, I want the drama. I think there will be some. And I think even to LeBron fans, I think there might be some unsavory things that they say, man, I got to admit that doesn't look good, right? And it might change some people's minds. Who knows? Like, we all know where I stand in the LeBron camp. So that's what I'll say about that.
Dart, allow me a little bit here because part two, like LeBron depends upon being allowed to bulldoze to the rim. But the other thing is we have two different perceptions of the game. You have the people watching basketball, and then you have the people that just wait to hear what Nick Wright says happened. They don't have to watch the games at all. So as long as the media is continuing to tell people that LeBron is playing well, then people will believe that he's playing well. So they might just up the level of lying. And what goes along with that is his behavior. LeBron's behavior is just embarrassing, and it has been for a long time. That's where Nick lost me for a minute, but he's redeeming himself here. But this is not the year where LeBron is starting to act like an asshole. LeBron has been the guy, and I know this is a biased panel, or at least I'm biased, but please, honestly, give me some names of who in the NBA behaves more embarrassingly. Tell me in the NBA who has gotten away with more no-call technical behavior. Tell me who has shown
Shaquille O'Neal.
What?
Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, not today, but 20 years ago.
Why? I'd be interested to see if that's even true. Tell me who has thrown their own teammates under the bus on the floor by showing his visual disgust in them every game. Tell me who has yelled at refs more, yelled at his own coaches more. Tell me who has shrugged and acted insecure and brought everything about himself than anyone in the NBA. Luka, as bad as Luka is with his complaining, there is the same gap between Luka's disgusting behavior and LeBron's as there is free throws for the Lakers and other teams. This is not the year that LeBron's going to start acting bad. It's just that the media says, oh, he's being passionate, or, oh, wow, yeah, man, maybe you should be upset with a coach in this situation. No, you don't act that way. You don't act that way. And that's what we've lost. for the sake of covering for a child on steroids, now we're being told that his behavior is okay. And you have the group of people who will go along with that lie, and you have the people that enjoyed the real game of basketball that are disgusted. All right, I'll shut up.
Well, I like the point that AOH made, and I'll be brief. Yes, there are people.
I haven't even gone yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Darm. I apologize. Go ahead.
I'm sitting here patient.
Go ahead.
Yeah, real fast. I think LeBron James is going to flop a couple times on the way down off the cliff. I think that the big thing with him, to me, I don't understand where he can go past this after playing with his son, because that's what's been talked about for the last couple of years is LeBron James wants to play with his son. I've heard with the Lakers that they're going to plan on having him play with LeBron, because that was the whole point of drafting him in the first place. It's not that, in my opinion, it's more so to do with the gimmick and the aesthetic that LeBron James is so great that he can even teach his son to get into the NBA. And I think after he gets that taste, what left is there for him to do other than accumulate more points? It's got to get boring after some time. We all know that he often misses upwards of 20 games a season. So to the aspect of that is that maybe he can ride out a couple more years doing that kind of same old tune. However, I really think that once he gets that taste of playing with Bronny, I think he's going to lose a lot of the vigor to continue playing in the NBA, because what else is he going to do? Anyone that's in the Jordan camp is not going to see him passing Jordan for really any reason, just because of the things we mentioned. And plus, even though the LeBron fans like to not admit that Jordan's career is an absolute storybook career, there's nothing that LeBron James can do. He can't retire, come back and three-peat again. He can't go 10 times scoring title. All of that sort of stuff it's just impossible.
Dart, you bring up some interesting points, but it actually builds on what I said. Indeed, as far as a basketball player, probably not. But we have this new NBA reality TV show in which people are actually saying that, oh, yes, it's great that the Lakers have basically embarrassed the entire franchise so we can have this historic event of a son and a father playing together. It's not supposed to be about appeasing a person. It's supposed to be about the franchises and the sports and competition. But we have a huge population who is actually buying into this idea. We've never seen this before. It's a great thing. So as long as they can come up with a gimmick, they might keep going. As long as you have people who will buy into that stuff instead of actually being true to the sport.
Yeah. And
you said you wanted to say something earlier?
Yeah, I was just gonna follow up on what AOH said. That was a great point, because what I call them the platinum level spin masters, right? LeBron will go out there and give you this like unimpactful stat line, but they will harp on, oh, well, he's still doing this and he's in year two. Who cares? You lost the game because you had so many missed assignments on the defensive side, right? But they won't talk about that. That's when they'll blame deflect to the team. Oh, well, D'Angelo Russell, he should have rotated over. Well, where is Anthony Davis? Like, really? So he doesn't get any culpability, but when they win, he gets all the praise. Now, people who call that out, right? The shaming label. We have to be called haters. Okay? So you hate to hear the truth, but you'll listen to a lie. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But to sum it up, as long as he has LaShannon Sharp, Colin Cowherd, and Nick Wrong, to continue to facilitate these lies and this spinning of the truth, then they're going to believe it. They're going to eat it up. And this is how you can verify if they're watching the game or not, right? Just ask them a basketball question like, well, hey, what did LeBron do in the third quarter, to either cut into the lead or to take over the lead? Like, did he do anything of significance, right? They can't answer that question. So, yeah, when you have those shields out there promoting and propagating this propaganda and stuff like that, you don't even have to watch the game, because they're going to go out here and tell you a lie that sounds good. So,
guys, the last two seasons, to agree with Hoop God, when the Lakers were struggling with LeBron playing, they blamed the teammates.
Yep.
When the Lakers started having success when LeBron was sitting out, crickets. The one thing that the most, and this is painfully absurd, I did hear one report that LeBron motivated his team by sitting out somehow, and he still got the credit for them winning. Instead of realizing that the Lakers do better when LeBron is out, somehow LeBron being on the bench cheering or threatening to leave the team and all that shit was a positive. You know, his disgusting passive-aggressive New York Knicks thing. Remember that they actually spun that as a positive and that it motivated the Lakers? My God, we praise terrible behavior now. So obviously I'm pessimistic about what will happen next year because there's no limit.
Robin, I got a question for you. Do you think that the media coverage and the appreciation will continue through the media for LeBron James for the rest of his career, or do you think the gimmickry that's happening now with him playing with his son, who a lot of people think didn't deserve to be drafted in the second round even, do you think that anyone is going to get critical of him in respect to how at least most of us on this panel feel that he should be criticized? Or do you think that they'll continue to just praise him until he retires?
Well, see, I think it comes back to the larger issue that we've been talking about that I mentioned earlier. It all goes back to the standard. It goes back to integrity. Because if people really want to stand on something, regardless if they're getting paid from a network, whether they're on YouTube or whatever it is, if they want to talk about a player, if they want to hype somebody up, if they want to make these comparisons, they must keep the same standard. When you read the comments of some of these fools right now, some of the LeBron James fans, look what they're saying. They've lowered the standard. They don't even hold their favorite player to any standard. How can you even look at yourself if you won't even hold your favorite player that you root for, that you come here and defend? You won't even hold him to a simple standard, something as simple as playing and giving consistent effort on the defensive end. And think about LeBron James. They're talking about in the comments, he's playing because he loves the game. If he loved the game so much, then why would he not take less money and give more effort? He won't do those kinds of things. If he loved the game so much, then why would he never take accountability for someone who's getting that kind of money, that kind of adulation? So when you talk about the media, are they always going to give him that coverage? Absolutely. He's going to get that coverage because they've all proven themselves to have no... This is why we are so popular right now. No matter what these LeBron James fans say in the chat, the reason my channel is the way it is, the reason why people come to the Sunday show is because they want the facts. I told you, you cannot have an opinion that was not based off reality, the facts. You form your opinion off the facts. Whatever opinion you come to, it must be based off reality, the truth. And over here on this show, we give you the truth. And you can form whatever opinion you want. The LeBron James fans have lowered the standard and they're not living in reality. So they won't hold LeBron James to that same standard. So no matter what they say, no matter what we say, it's not going to matter. I mean, look at the things that they're saying. You had somebody talking about an all-NBA third selection. Once again, you've lowered the standard. LeBron James is getting these selections, not playing a lick of defense. A lick. How much video does my man AOH post out here for these idiots to look at? And yet and still, they're blind. The man literally stands still and doesn't even move. He don't hustle back and still nothing.
You know, a recent example I just want to throw out real quick. Last night, I wasted time looking at the Serbia game and LeBron supposedly playing great defense on Jokic because all the LeBron fans were like, oh, how come you left out? You know, when you show how terrible he is in every single aspect of the game, they're like, well, how come you left out how good he was against Jokic? What the hell are you people talking about? I didn't find anything. What in the hell are you? He guarded Jokic for exactly 15 seconds of the entire game, and I didn't see anything good there. I saw Team USA getting away with a lot of questionable shit, though, refereeing-wise. Holy crap. I don't know whether I should do an episode on that or not. I might get threatened, but holy shit, that game looked rigged.
Hey, can I say something real quick? What I'm talking about, I want you guys to think about something. Everybody out there, everybody in the chat, the LeBron James fans, all my people out there, everybody that come onto the Sunday show. I want you guys to think about Michael Jordan on the Washington Wizards. And I want you guys to think about what people talked about when Michael Jordan played on the Wizards. Listen to the stories that they talked about. I want you to pay attention closely to the things that they've mentioned. What do they talk about? They talked about Michael Jordan going out there on one leg, getting stuff drained from his knees, going out there, giving the effort. He was the first one at practice at 39, 40 years old. These are the stories they're telling. They're not talking to you about Michael Jordan scoring 40, 50 points, flying through the air, and doing all this crazy stuff. Michael Jordan held the standard. That was the standard that Michael Jordan set. To go out there and give it 100%, to give the effort, to play the 82 games if you can. And if not, you're going to try damn near and give it your all. And that's what Michael Jordan did. When people highlight that play that Michael Jordan had against Ron Mercer, that's classic Michael Jordan, man. It's not Michael Jordan flying through the air. It's not Michael Jordan scoring 1,000 points. It's none of these things. It's Michael Jordan getting his shot blocked on one end, literally getting his shot blocked, thrown back in his face, and what? Showing the never die attitude, never stopping, never quitting, running back on the other side of the court at that age, and giving the effort. That's what we remember Michael Jordan for. It's not about the scoring titles. It's not about the numbers, man. It's about the effort that Michael Jordan gave consistently. The key word is consistently. LeBron James is not consistent at all. This is part of his 4-6 record. The lack of hustle overall, the effort. That's Michael Jordan in a nutshell. So when you think about the Washington Wizards and people want to run their mouth about Michael Jordan, listen to the stories that they tell. Listen to the effort that this man gave. And think about everything that Michael Jordan represented. That was it right there. And remember this, if there was a play-in tournament when Michael Jordan was on the Wizards, then they would have ended up in the play-in. That was the effort that Michael Jordan showed, man. That's the standard I'm talking about.
Nick,
oh, go ahead.
real fast, we're gonna go to Nick. Nick, do you have anything to respond to that conversation? What do you think about the media?
Dart, just to clarify what you said, are you saying that until his son retires, that no one will be honest about LeBron, his dad?
Him when he when he retires.
When Bronny retires.
No, his dad, LeBron James.
When LeBron retires, okay, will people be critical of him or honest about it, or will they keep up the facade? I think I've said before, I think it will go a couple years afterwards. There will be this, again, there's so much momentum, right? I don't think it's just going to stop the day he retires. Like, I think there will be GOAT conversations where people will continue. But I think after 2-3 years go by, we kind of have to predict these things. So I don't know, but I think it will die down. I think it will come back around. I think they will look at the championships and the MVPs, the times Jordan led the league compared to LeBron, the utter dominance of Jordan when he played, right, versus LeBron. I think it will come back around. I think people will eventually say, I think, when they poll the players and coaches and all that stuff, I think Jordan is still going to be winning those polls 10 years from now, right? So, yes, it will. The momentum will carry, but in my opinion, I think it will come back around. I think Jordan will, again, firmly supplant himself as the GOAT over LeBron. I think
again. We say again what?
Well, we're talking about now with the media, like what the media is saying and hyping up in their narrative. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about what the media is saying.
No,
right?
He's not even close.
I know that. I'm saying the media, I think, will come back around, right? The LeBron stands and the average fan or what have you, if they're caught in the moment now, those people I think will come back around. And what we used to see where everyone said LeBron or MJ was the GOAT, I think that will be the new norm 5 years from now, right? Where now it's like, well, let's debate it. Let's talk about it. Is it possible? Shannon Sharp, that kind of stuff. I think it will come back around.
Too late. It's too late for any of them dudes.
Hoop God, what you were saying, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, so I wanted to just verify what Sports and Fitness Rants was saying about Jordan, just his defensive effort and production during his time with the Wizards versus LeBron. And I just looked this up. And this is the 2002-2003. So Michael Jordan's last season, he was ranked 75th in individual defensive win shares, right? Now, this is 40-year-old Michael Jordan. We contrast that with LeBron James and was it 2021-22 season when he told everybody keep that same energy. He finished the season ranked 199th in individual defensive win share. Horrible.
AOH, what do you got to say about this media stuff?
Well, I think what Sports and Fitness Rants was trying to say is that LeBron has not ever overcome MJ. There's been
I
a
agree.
massive.
For the record, I agree with that.
There's been a
That's not what
massive
I was
effort.
saying.
Maybe what he was saying is that there's been a massive effort to sway the minds of the easily influenced, which are the LeBron morons out there, which is a crazy amount of the population, unfortunately. Take away voting rights and reproductive rights of all of these people. But you know what? You see, I'm not laughing.
Off the rails.
Look, what is the conversation? You know, Robin talked about Michael's consistency, but think about the conversation that LeBron fans are always revolving around. They're making excuses about why LeBron couldn't overcome. That's why there's so much shit talking about the past, because they've got to talk about something else. Where with Michael, we get to talk about his winning and how he overcame situations and rose above. And all they can do is pretend that it was an easy path for him, which it clearly wasn't. But you know, even if it was, your competition was your competition, and you either won or you lost. We could waste time playing the same game with LeBron and talking about how bad his competition was. And the difference is that LeBron failed way more often than he succeeded. And so all this time is spent talking about explaining away LeBron's failures. Whereas with Jordan, we get to talk about his success.
Real quick, I just wanted to say, I think what, in terms of that media aspect, just real quick, I wanted to add is like, I think it will be interesting to hear people who were more maybe in the front office or people, GMs and stuff, who will talk about the amount of influence that LeBron had over his teams and the decision-making of organizations. I look forward to that. I want to hear what people say about, you know, LeBron demanded this, or LeBron worked that, or LeBron pushed this, or LeBron had that guy leave and LeBron wanted that guy to come here, right? I'm interested to hear people's take, I think, as time goes on, to hear about just how influential LeBron sort of leveraged his position to get things done from like a front office and a roster building perspective.
Hoopka, what do you got to say about this media thing? Do you think that the media will start getting harder on him before he retires, or do you think they're going to wait, or will it ever happen?
Well, I would have to come back to the Kendrick Perkins example, right? As long as they're being compromised, you know, handsomely, then no, they're going to continue to push the facade and, you know, the fabricating of the truth. And like AOH said, spinning these narratives for the simple-minded, because again, those Jedi mind tricks only work on the weak-minded individuals. So as long as they're still getting that healthy, wealthy compensation, yeah, they're going to continue to do that. Now, for whatever reason, you know, if it starts to, you know, those checks start to become a little bit less and less and less, then we're going to have a Kendrick Perkins situation, a dynamic, right? Because Kendrick Perkins pretty much stood on business and so told LeBron James, man, I'm a grown man. I don't care what you think and feel about me. Every day you turn the TV on, you're going to have to see me, right? So we know that there was an issue there, right? But as long as, you know, LaShannon Sharp, you know, this pocket's getting greased and Cowherd and Nick Wrong, yeah, they're going to continue to put forth those narratives. So the only thing I can say at this point is, hey, as long as the money's coming, we're going to keep hearing it. But when the money starts to run thin, we're going to see a different tune.
Except that LeBron has several of his own media companies and a shitload of money. And if he's going to become an owner, you know, he's going to have even more money. I don't know. I don't see the money running out, unfortunately.
Right.
Yo, remember, the LeBron James fans, LeBron James, he's on the wrong side of history here. Remember, guys, we always want to have the facts on our side. These people can say whatever they want in the comments. They could talk about LeBron James numbers. The video footage is there, man. When we talk about LeBron James flopping, and then you hear LeBron James say, I have to learn how to flop. I have to become a flopper. It's a slap in the face of all his fans. He's literally lying right to all of y'all faces, and you guys don't even care about it. When LeBron James is caught fake reading a book and then is asked and then proceeds to keep lying. He's slapping all of his fans in the face. And they don't even understand this. That should be an embarrassment. How could you support someone like that? Instead of just being a grown man and being an adult about the situation and being like, hey, man, I only read the first couple of pages. I couldn't really give you a great answer. Just own up. This man continued to babble on and on and on. So once again, if we think about the LeBron James fans, they'll have about 4, 5, 6 different YouTube channels, different profiles on YouTube. Look at them in the comment section. The same people over and over again. But when you go to their channels, they have no energy to make videos. And why is that? Because you cannot make any videos about LeBron James. What are you going to talk about? There's nothing for them to talk about. If you ever notice, what do LeBron James fans spend their whole time doing? They spend their whole time talking about Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, and what Isaiah Thomas says. This is all they talk about. Nick Wright talking points. They cannot make anything about LeBron James. They couldn't talk about basketball for 5 seconds on a video. And that's why they come to the comments. All of these channels, and these are the people that are subscribed and follow LeBron James. So he has 100 million followers, but really only about 50 million of them are actual people. The other ones are bots. This is why his popularity is fake. When LeBron James goes out in town, I want these people to think about this. All his fans, when he goes in town, he gets mixed reviews wherever he goes. He never knows how he's going to be received. Wherever Michael Jordan goes, he shuts it down. Shuts it down. It don't even matter what it is. He shuts it down. LeBron James gets booed in public. Michael Jordan would never.
Yeah, let me I want to go back to this media thing real fast. So I don't think it's going to end, really. I think they're going to continue to push it until somebody just wildly – really, I think it's going to have to take somebody who dominates championship-wise and individually statistically-wise, i.e. winning scoring titles, statistical titles in general. Otherwise, I can't see them pushing anybody as hard as they have LeBron James, and I really think there won't be a new guy until maybe about 10 years later after he retires, where people get away from this recency bias of LeBron James doing the length of finals appearances, which for some reason people hang their hat on as if, showing up somewhere and not being able to get results is a measure of greatness. That's just another thing I don't understand, but I'll try not to get stuck on that. I don't think it's going to change. I think it's going to be like that for the foreseeable future until somebody else comes along to dominate. What's up,
consider the age story. Consider how LeBron fans attach themselves to the age story, and you'll see them repeat, "Oh, how can you hate on this guy doing this at age 41?" And they started saying that when he was 37. But the thing is, they actually talk as if we've never seen guys play at this age. And the media is partially to blame for that. Like, a lot of guys have played into their 40s and late 30s. In fact, guys that old have beaten LeBron James. And yet they actually have this illusion that they've never seen this before, that we've never seen this before. And guess what? Your announcers and your analysts are saying that. So, of course, the weak-minded people are repeating it. I mean, this is what they do. People often ask, where are the LeBron haters in your comments? I think they've finally gotten scared of my channel. But my answer is they are waiting for Nick Wright to tell them what to say, and then they'll just repeat it verbatim. They have no actual idea what's happening in the real world. They are just waiting for whatever piece of food will continue to feed the lie that they are living. These people are living lies, and they are desperately attached to the lie, and it's so weird. It's so weird. It scares the shit out of me.
One thing I want to add on to regarding narratives in general is that a lot of LeBron James fans will attack Michael Jordan fans and say, "Oh, you're just talking narratives." You don't know what that word means. Nope. A narrative is to describe an event or anything like that, and you use evidence to describe that. And it's funny, like people will say, "Oh, well, why don't you just talk statistics?" Because then you'd be reading. You have to add context to statistics, and or what have you otherwise. A narrative is just an expression of an event. So when people say you only talk narratives, you only use your feelings. No, dude, a narrative is a description of events. It's not like read a dictionary, man. Anyway.
No, you're right, man. It's like I see people talking about Michael Jordan scoring, and they'll always say things like, "Oh, well, Michael Jordan won scoring titles because he shot the ball the most." Well, no, duh. How the hell are you supposed to win a scoring title if you ain't shooting the ball? Are you kidding me? It just so happened that Michael Jordan makes most of his shots. That's how he wins the scoring titles. He's creative. He can score in a myriad of different ways. This is why Michael Jordan won scoring championships. Not just because he could score the basketball, because he could score in different ways. Would John Stockton be the all-time assist leader if he never passed the ball? No. Oh, hey, John Stockton's only the assist leader because he passed so much. No, duh. That's part of your skill set, man. What are we talking about here, man?
Real fast, we got a Canadian super chat from Monolondo. I'm not sure where it's going to. However, Monolondo says, "Remember, the true always prevails. Time will tell."
Oh, that's mine. Thank
you.
Monolondo. And hey, stupid old man here, I guess. I can only chat in my own channel if I'm using my phone. When I'm on the desktop, I can't respond to you guys. So it's a little bit hard. So I apologize. And just Messenger, that was on my channel too. Maybe you meant that for Dart. $2 just because MJ fans are truly the best. Well, we'll pass that along to Dart.
Nice.
Well, thank you. It's gonna help me break even this month.
Hey, I saw some people complaining about not interacting with the comments. Drop some super chats, you cheap asses.
Yeah, I'm on my cell phone. I can't do anything on my cell phone.
I was just gonna say, someone had mentioned, like, if you're kind of in the Jordan camp, you're not going to be convinced otherwise, and if you're in the LeBron camp, you're not going to be convinced otherwise.
But wait, Nick. See, that's the thing right there. Hold on, Nick. See, this is what I always call them out on.
Damn, God, you didn't even let him get his sentence out.
Oh, my bad.
I was gonna say the only way, and I've said this, like the only way that, in my opinion, that LeBron could even begin to approach Jordan is if he has some like 2011 Dirk run this year, and he just puts the team on his back, drops insane numbers, triple-double averages or whatever, and that's never gonna happen. Those days are gone. That's never gonna happen. That's just, I just don't think there's any way he passes them. I just don't see it. I don't see a realistic path in which LeBron ever gets there. It's way too late. It's just too little too late, in my opinion.
Sorry, I almost spoke over Hoop God. Hoop God, you're extremely patient, by the way. Please step over me. Step over me. I was about to interject.
No, AOH. It's an art you have to practice. Like, believe me.
What, being rude? All right, I'm going to cut you off. Listen to me. You're so goddamn polite.
Hoop God, what you got to say? Yeah.
I was gonna speak on what Nick mentioned because that's a very like integral point he made. I always have to remind them, who is the person that came out and said, "I'm chasing that ghost or that goat in Chicago," right? He felt so compelled after that 2016 finals, which Kyrie Irving saved his backside, but they don't want to talk about that. So I always ask them, when did the standard get moved from championships? Because when you felt compelled to say that and you were only halfway there with the championships, right? All of a sudden now the goalpost shifted to cumulative totals. I'm like, wait, how does that work? I'm like, don't try to apply the totals to Michael Jordan when that was never his standard. Because he had a conversation with, I believe, Ahmad Rashad or Paul Silas, and he told him flat out, he said, the accumulative stats never moved me. He said, because if that was the case, I never would have retired in 93, which is actually true. Like, he verifies it right there. So I'm always looking at it like, so he couldn't catch Michael Jordan, his standard of greatness and success. So now he has to strategically move the goalpost to another path that nobody else really cares about other than his brain dead fanboys out there. So I just wanted to speak on that. That was a great point Nick brought up.
Real fast, AOH. I wanted to say something about that because I don't think that Michael Jordan's the standard is just championships. It's about dominance over the entire league in every facet. It's not just championships, because if you say that, then it's Bill Russell. It's not. It's not Hoop God. Freaking. Well, I guess that's why you have the name. Michael Jordan The reason why he's so great is that he hit every ticker that you can in respect to the NBA. He does it more so than LeBron in every capacity for the most part, except for the All NBA selections. But all of the major achievements, the statistical dominance, and the team success, he's top. He's the top 5 in everything, to say it at the very lowest. But he's top 3 in pretty much all of that. And none of the guys that you can compare him to otherwise hit that benchmark. Bill Russell doesn't have the statistical dominance. Wilt Chamberlain doesn't have the team dominance. And you can argue about the awards that they didn't exist back then, and some of the statistical titles. However, still, it's something that is it's not the championships, man. It's the total package of being dominant throughout the entire NBA. But there's what's that, AH?
Well, what Nick made me want to say a while ago was saying, Jordan fans will always be Jordan fans and LeBron fans will always be LeBron fans. There's a little bit more to say about that, because I think I became more of a Jordan fan as time has gone on, because a lot of us just miss seeing people actually compete and act like men and not complain constantly and flop and things like that. I think some people that weren't originally Jordan fans are becoming Jordan fans because they're hungry for something that isn't the victimhood generation and the victimhood mentality. I at least, maybe if you're growing up in that era, you like that because that's what you're accustomed to. But some people have had enough and they're like, wow, people actually didn't rely on excuses in one point in time. And that's nice. And that's inspiring. And I think it attracts people. And as time goes on, some people are going to get disgusted with LeBron James. And you know who won't get disgusted with LeBron James? The people who live their lives using excuses for their own failures and have learned that making excuses is all you need to do instead of overcoming.
There's probably some truth to that. I think the old school ball, I think you're right, will attract the unapologetic competition, right, that you're kind of mentioning.
There's a super chat that came in from Jimmy James to AOH for $4.99 United States dollars.
Ooh.
And it says to offset the skinflints.
Oh, is that because I said people need to put in some super chats? Yeah, that probably came off harsh. Thank you, Jimmy James. Listen, guys, there's a lot of comments in there, and you got to somehow pick who you're going to respond to. We got an entire panel here that has a lot to say. So, yeah, it's not that unreasonable to say throw a super chat at some of these guys up here. They all deserve some super chats. Come on, drop a buck or two so we can pick out some chats.
So, well, according to a lot of people, because it's gotten out that I live in Hawaii, everyone thinks I'm filthy rich. So for those people,
he's in a chicken coop, people.
I was homeless. You don't remember the chicken episodes or the rooster episodes? Anyway, with that said,
thank you, Jimmy. Sorry, I forgot to even say thank you.
With this said, though, do y'all have anything else you want to talk about on this subject before we start having callers come up?
I don't have anything.
Get a beer.
Steam Engine is in the comments. I don't know why he's not up here, but Steam Engine, did you have to resend the link again? Anyway, I'm going to drop the comment, or excuse me, the link to the show.
Yeah, and have all the LeBron James fans in the chat. Tell them to call up, man. Where y'all fools at? Every time, man, y'all come to my comment section, y'all be crying and moaning. Oh, sports and fitness Rance don't know nothing about basketball. He's just yelling. I tell you guys, call up the Sunday show. Put your face on camera and break it down. See, this is part of the thing that I'm talking about. These guys can never do these kinds of things. They can't explain a lot of the stuff that happens during LeBron James' playing career. They just cry about Michael Jordan. They bring up other players. They can never stay on topic. Call up, fools. I want to hear what you got to say. Explain to us LeBron James forming the super teams. Explain to us LeBron James walking off the court, not shaking hands. Explain to us the flopping. Explain to us everything that LeBron James tweets and then deletes. Explain to us all the fakeness of LeBron James throughout the years. I would love to hear it.
Real fast, the easiest way to go and call into the show is if you come to my channel. If you've liked this show in general, or you like what I have to say with my beautiful, iconic face, literally here.
I saw some fool in the chat mentioning something about this fool of Johnny or some clown of Johnny from the GOAT James Fools. Listen, those dudes are not on our level. We've already exposed and embarrassed those clowns. They're nowhere near our level. They're like LeBron James and Michael Jordan. They're nowhere near us. We don't have to talk about them. We don't have to expose them, nothing. So if you want to talk about those clowns, go over to their channel. I'm sure they would love to have you there. Because once again, I've told you, anyone that goes to their channel, that supports their channel, those stupid narratives that they talked about, the things that they actually said on this channel, they're a bunch of idiots. They know nothing about the game. Then you could go over there. Then you don't know a damn thing, man. So don't be bringing that dude up in the chat, man. You guys sound ridiculous.
Yeah, we out here hunting big fish. We ain't worried about those little trout out there. We worried about
that crappy channel.
It's if you like the I Promise School of Math thought,
Jesus.
then go over there and check them out.
Yes, where 40% is passing. Remember, only over there at the I Promise Education. 40%.
Every child
LeBron
left
James is a
behind.
greater shooter than Michael Jordan, they believe.
Every child left behind.
Every child.
Full Metal, I see in the background. I'm gonna read these super chats and I'll let you on. Speam Engine super chatted me for $1.99 US, saying, "Now stop begging for money."
That's funny. That's funny.
I don't want to jack this up. ET Cadu $4.99. I'm not sure where this went to.
That's on mine.
My boy, E.T.
That's on. Is that meant for someone else? Come on, guys, put it on. But put a comment. I talked trash because we're supposed to be able to read your comment when you put it in there, and this guy gives $4.99 and doesn't leave a comment. Yes, begging for money. Listen, my bad. I don't know what to say. Is it that much to support these guys? Come on, they deserve a little support. I
You
don't.
weren't begging for money, man. You made a comment, man. It was a joke, man. And everyone, they know the deal on this channel. That's not how we get down. We're out here doing our thing, man. Like I said, they know that we are humble and much appreciated for all the support, guys. They know.
Yeah, we'll just read LeBron fan comments all day. How's that?
They're here to listen to us educate these fools.
We should just have a pure call-in show sometime soon. Sorry. I Cook MJ fan says, Dart said y'all vetoed his debate with GJK when he was on FYF Sports Panel. No, this is them. I Cook MJ fans. I don't usually do this. However, I have to tell you, if you don't know that they're in the realm of complete misinformation, go figure out what you listen to, because these guys lie all the time. All I said is that I didn't want to have a Sunday panel versus a Sunday panel, because it's something that it doesn't make sense. I asked to do this. It wasn't the panel asking to do this. So there's no veto. I just didn't want to bring it to the Sunday show. But y'all, you can go listen to them with their I Promise Math. So
yeah,
anyway.
Tim
Panel
Nick,
versus
Tim
panel
Nick in the
gets crazy.
comments. Call up, Tim Nick. You got something to say? Call up, man. Don't talk and run your stuff in the comments, man. Call up if you got something to say, man. Put your face on camera. You guys are a bunch of goofs, man.
But the ETKD $4.99 lemon character and baby lemon blowing a party horn. Oh, it's a super sticker. My bad. That's why. I'm just reading what the sticker is.
I got one from. Oh, I'm sorry. You were reading it.
All right. From CSS, it's the price of contracts and tickets has to be justified by selling us on the idea that we are seeing history, despite it's clearly not being the case for $4.99. Is this for you, AOH, I'm guessing?
Yeah, thank you. And great point. You reminded me, I didn't even finish my series about LeBron delivered for LA. I've got some more financials to throw in there, but consider that the Lakers have the biggest TV contract this year. Well, that's not LeBron delivering. That's the Lakers negotiating and spending money in order to push the LeBron narrative. This is continuing to make purchases in order to sell the idea of LeBron James. Does anyone not think that every single one of those games is going to be a glaze fest? 36 times on television, the entire world is going to be brainwashed with nonstop LeBron James glazing. This is to push The narrative, like Nick was talking about narratives earlier. This is money being spent to push a narrative, not because a guy's great play is helping a franchise out.
Real fast. I Cook MJ fans again. He's like, oh, I saw you bring that up. I challenged him one-on-one, and he tried to bring other people into it. It's not about vetoing it. I said, hey, I want you one-on-one, and he said, well, why don't you bring the whole panel? I don't know.
Forget those clowns, man.
How am I
scared? Man.
How am I
cloud
scared?
chasing us.
Oh,
they looking for cloud chasing, man, because we blew up on the Sunday show, Dart, and they know that. Their show is whack. You guys are whack, man. Get that through your thick heads. Y'all ain't got nothing on us. We don't have to debate y'all. Y'all was already here. We cooked these fools. Once again, we dropped the link. Call up. Where y'all at?
What Robin is saying, that's exactly what they're trying to do. Because when we had that show on JJ Redick and LeBron and Gil showed up, like the views went from like 800, it skyrocketed, and because we had all that interaction going on, like more people were sharing it. So yeah, that's what they're attempting to do. They're really trying to be strategic in that method. So it's like, hey, we get everybody on there, well, we can get no. See what we done. It just happened organically. We didn't try to like purposely go out.
Thank you, God. Thank you.
When you do things naturally, you do it organically, it's always going to take off. But when you're out there trying to manipulate things, kind of like LeBron trying to manipulate the standard of winning, people aren't going to buy into it.
All right, we got Full Metal here. You're on the panel. You got 2 minutes to make a statement or 1 minute to ask it. Well, actually, you can hang out for a bit. Nobody else is calling in. So what do you got to say?
I just got something quick to say as I debate with a LeBron fan here with me. They always bring up the fact that this guy has 4 MVPs, but I'd like to understand why he can win 2 MVPs on a super team in Miami, but nobody else can get the same grace to do it, like Durant and Curry or whoever, because I don't count those MVPs for him. So I just want to get your guys' take on it. And that's it.
I mean, LeBron's MVPs, in my opinion, are fraudulent. We can start there and go down a whole other debate. I mean, didn't LeBron James get league MVP in 2011 or the season before?
No,
Derrick Rose got it.
What was it? He got it in 2009, 2008?
9 and 10.
Yeah, he got it in 9 and 10 on Cleveland.
With epic failures in the playoffs. I mean, this is what we're talking about. Keep giving this guy accolades on paper and don't look at what he's doing on the floor.
Yep,
Remember, LeBron James hasn't won an MVP since he turned 30. Not one MVP in his 30s. See, this is part of the gradual decline, the clip, so to speak, that we're talking about. LeBron James hasn't won an MVP in over 10 seasons, and he hasn't sniffed an all-defensive team in over 10 seasons. But the LeBron James fans, the media, they won't mention these things. They keep talking about his longevity. They keep talking about the stats he puts up. No duh. You can do a chase down block every once in a while when you're standing right on defense for the other 45 minutes. You can put up these points and shots when you're not playing a lick of defense consistently. Remember, the key word is consistency, guys. He's not doing those things.
I think it was 2010 I was looking into, wanted to do an episode on, and it applies. It applies. Is that intentional or not?
Keep going, Elway.
God damn, who is that?
It's Full Metal.
Steam Engine.
No, Jesus. Why in the hell?
Ahead, please, it's rude, right? When someone does it.
Hey, shout out to my co-host.
Shout out to Hoop God.
He's bringing your channel down, Hoop God. He's bringing your channel down.
Watch these numbers fly up. Hello, everyone. I just wanted AOH to see what it's like to be in my shoes for a second when someone else is trying to talk. Go ahead, Percy.
Oh, Christ almighty. Victimhood. Show your age there, Steam Engine.
Well, welcome, Steam Engine. Full Metal. Thank you for calling in. We'll let
thanks for fucking up the great point I was making for
Thank
your
you, guys.
stupid joke.
Yo, we good. Thanks for calling in, man.
All right. Steam Engine, you're here now. Do you have a point before we let other callers in? You can hang out on the panel.
No, but good Lord, I wasn't coming in to kick somebody out.
Jeez. Well, there's other people.
This is what you interrupted me for?
Yeah.
Just to be here?
Yes,
You're
absolutely.
LeBron James playing defense right now.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put my name in.
Just be there.
Don't you dare. All
Take
right,
up space.
What are we
Take up
talking about
space.
today?
Do you want me to spin you up from the beginning?
No, you
Oh, what are we talking about today?
Look how
God damn
upset
it.
he's getting. Look how upset
Come
he's getting.
on.
When it
Come on,
happens to
man.
him.
Get it together, man. Don't goof the show up.
I'm not
I think
goofing
there's
the
a
show.
title written. I think there's a title somewhere.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Yeah.
Wait,
He's
somebody.
dropped.
Wait. This Stepa Battalion says I put him in, or I took
the dude got
MJ
multiple
fans in
channels.
timeout.
You see
He
what I'm
said
saying?
that I put him
just
in
proved my
timeout. I
point.
didn't put anybody in timeout, dude.
He just
No,
proved my
no,
point.
no, I've
He
done
went
that.
back to
I've
his
done
other
that.
channel. These guys got
Oh.
3, 4, 5
Oop,
channels. These
Oop,
guys
guys.
are
No.
crazy weird, man.
No, when he,
Hoop guy,
he
don't
made-
be putting people in timeout unless they're cursing, man. Let them troll. I don't care about that.
Gotcha.
Please don't just put
Troll channels.
dissenters in that. Yeah,
Wait a
because
minute,
I
wait a minute.
I did not
He
put
logged
you in
out-
timeout.
He logged out of one account and got into another
I
one.
told you exposed.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
please,
he loves our Sunday show.
That is hilarious.
I
But
told
yeah,
you, man.
but yeah, let them keep talking. They help drive engagement. Please do not.
They won't
I
answer
got-
about LeBron
I got
James
timeout.
clip, though.
That's free traffic.
And that's for everyone that's a moderator on my channel. Don't shut these guys up unless
Where's
they
the
start
clip?
doing
I have
slurs
no
or
access
whatever.
to the chats. This is why I expose and call these fools out.
But either way, I dropped the link about 1 billion times. I know you can,
Hey, can you drop
look
it
at my
again? I'll
channel
copy and
otherwise.
paste it.
Yeah, here. It's in
He
the.
had so much time to go get to another channel. You ain't have enough time to call up, my man. What are you waiting for? What is wrong with you clowns? I don't get you weirdos. You had all that time to get your other channel. Call up, fool.
Make these LeBron fans show their faces too, so we can show
Yeah,
how
man. Explain
unathletic
the
looking
clip.
they are.
Explain it.
This dude
Explain the
literally
defense.
he cycled through 2 other accounts. This is hilarious.
He
My man
played
checked his
D.
Wi-Fi.
He played D at those Diddy parties. I had to read somebody's comments.
And you know he probably got one of those long Wi-Fi passwords. He had to redo the Wi-Fi password, all this stuff just to switch his account up.
Wow.
Long Wi-Fi
Oh.
passwords. That's dirty business. Dirty business.
E.T. Kadu says $4.99. Keep it up. Don't have much to say. Shout out to y'all. There's a couple more that came
Yo,
through.
shout out to the chat, man. Yo, Taj Rahim, what up, man?
Look at my victimhood. My victimhood worked. People are sending in some super chats.
Help me, I'm poor.
You guys don't know what I went through in order to get on here.
I got a hard life.
You
I'm
guys
a
are,
billionaire. My name is LeBron James. Please help me. Feel sorry for me.
You guys are coming in kind of hot today. What's seems
Yo,
like
this
there's
dude
some-
came in hot with the cliff.
So-
I got all the LeBron James fans upset.
Oh
yeah.
man.
So anyways,
real fast,
okay.
being mentioned. There's one more super chat. I was gonna let the next caller in.
Wow, Spain's still here.
yeah, I'm still here, damn it. You know I'm here.
CSS says Lebalco being the GOAT is a living manifestation of meritocracy versus equity. The Banana Boat Boys deserve their generation. Keep it up, gang. Much love. Thank you, CSS. I believe that's also for AOH's GoFundMe.
Yes, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, CSS.
We're gonna let on Ash. Welcome, Ash. How are you today?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello.
Yo.
We got other callers coming in, so you got 2 minutes to make a comment or 1 minute to ask a question.
Is the topic still the same about LeBron James dropping off the hill?
Barely hear you, bro.
You sound like you're on a really bad radio.
Yeah, we can't hear you, man.
Or Cybertron.
Probably from another continent.
You sound
Yeah,
like
like-
you're underwater.
You put as much time and effort into this as Steam Engine.
I knew it. See, I knew it. Keep going. I can keep going.
Hold on, let me take that.
I'm sorry. I really can't understand you, man. I'm sorry.
Call back, man. Call back.
Yeah, try calling back.
Is it good now? Is it good?
Yes, it's good now. Yep.
Yeah.
Just had to change my. Is the topic still the same?
Yep.
I was
Go.
asking the same
I'll start.
question.
I'll spin you up from the beginning. No. Yeah, you got 2 minutes to make a comment or 1 minute to ask a question.
I think my opinion is 50-50 because during the Cleveland years he has with Tyronn Lue. I heard from Uncut Hoop, Tyronn Lue was so stressed that he bleeds every day. That's how stressed he was, and the media doesn't call it. It was a small newspaper, I believe, and the reason why I believe he will flop off a cliff is because his son is there. Either they're gonna defend his son or defend him. So if he really got mad at his son, probably the media will turn on him. That's my take, at least.
Yeah,
All
yo, I
right.
want to make a point of what he just said. Thank you for
Mhm.
calling. Listen, when you mention things like practicing, man, we talk about LeBron James, man. When we think about the effort that I'm talking about and the consistency and LeBron James picking and choosing once he wants to, when he wants to give effort, we think about something like practice, something that simple. What do you hear about a lot of Michael Jordan teammates? They often talk about how games were harder than the practices. You don't hear the same thing about the LeBron James teammates. It's actually the contrary. It's the complete opposite. They don't either practice or they don't practice hard. And that's part of the problem for a lot of the LeBron James teams and part of the reason why he's able to have this longevity, man. So much respect. Thank you, man.
All right.
Thanks.
Yep. Thanks for calling in, Ash. Appreciate you.
Can I piggyback off that real quick?
No.
Sure.
Thank you, owner of the channel. To your point, I think there's going to be a big drop off because he's going to be so emotionally just spent this year dealing with his son and Clutch and just the unraveling of his legacy in real time, especially while they're filming his docu-series or whatever the hell it is that they're filming. It's gonna be ugly. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of like maybe.
What is going on?
I don't know. Why
Spain.
can't people come in ready with your audio and your mic?
Hey,
Come
go
on,
to this guy's.
Steve.
Go to
You're
Sports and
goofing
Fitness.
You're goofing the show up. You're goofing it up, man.
No, go
You
to
act
his
like
channel.
a LeBron James fan.
This is a great advertisement for your channel.
Is this better?
Go. Hey, this guy's fully prepared and he brings it every day. Go to Steam Engine's channel where he does all the tech work before the show
AOH
starts.
just literally said that we're deserving of people's donations, their hard-earned money, and you come out
Not
with
him.
this?
Not him.
Please hold.
Okay, let's move on. There's another super chat that came in. Just a messenger. I think it's for AOH's GoFundMe again.
He put me there.
I don't know if it went to you though.
His
I don't
Make
care.
a
He put my
Wish
name. I'm
donation.
answering it, damn it.
All right,
check.
I don't care about the
$4.99.
money. I'm not here for the money.
Sports and Fitness Ranch. LBJ fanboys know they got nothing on you guys. Keep smacking them around. The changing account is hilarious.
Exactly.
Wait, I got
Switching
a
up account
screenshot
like
there.
a clown.
Hold on. Don't wait. I got a screenshot there. Just a second.
Switching up like a straight goof, man. My man has so much time to go get his other burner channel, and I literally just talked about that like 2 minutes before, right on cue.
Better,
CSS
worse?
is the last.
Check.
God
And this
damn
is
it.
why they're here. You see how that fact, you see how that dynamic, that's the reality.
All right,
CSS
we're gonna-
is the last super chat that I got, so that did not go to me.
All right. We got Andrew here. You've got 2 minutes to ask or say a comment or 1 minute to ask a question. Welcome. Thank you for calling in, sir.
Like
What's
the stash.
going on? Thank you. No, what's going on, guys? You guys are hilarious today. I don't know what's going on today, but people aren't coming ready also, so don't know what's going on there. But one thing earlier I wanted to piggyback on, I actually don't hear anybody bring this up, and this is where Nick Wright just completely exposes himself. Just it's insane. But when LeBron James won those 2 MVPs on this Miami Heat, the super team, obviously that's crazy. But when he won it back-to-back in 09 and 10, and then he went to the Miami Heat super team, Nick Wright literally argued he should have gotten that over Derrick Rose 3 in a row. And then he says Jokic shouldn't have gotten that 3rd MVP like a few years ago or whatever when he was going 3 in a row and they gave it to MVP. He argued that, but literally LeBron flamed out in the playoffs. Both years he won MVP, and that's the exact reason he said that Jokic shouldn't get the third MVP is because the 2 years he won MVP, he flamed out in the playoffs. Like, it makes no sense at all.
That's a good point.
If you keep growing that, you're going to look like me, right?
Hopefully one day.
Looks good. Looks good.
And anyone want to comment? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a great comment, and it brings me back to what the actual good point I was trying to make before Steam Engine wasted our time. And somebody made a there's a great point about Michael Jordan. He had insane output during the regular season. Somehow he managed to up that in the playoffs. And LeBron James did not do that. LeBron James went down in the playoffs. So that tells you what kind of a person that you have. Because what excuse are you going to use? Did your team get worse? Did you change your teammates? No, it's you. You couldn't get it done when it needed to get done. And it shows. And I have a problem with someone like that getting an MVP because that happened during his MVP seasons. It shows you that he wasn't the man. It shows you that he was not the man. He didn't deserve those MVPs. He fell off in the playoffs. But the media has told us that he carried trash to the playoffs, to the finals. So they said it must be true. God forbid anyone go and look at the games or go and look at the fact that they were actually great teams or that they had a winning record. How do you have the best record in the league, but suddenly when you're in the playoffs and the moment counts, you have a shitty team? Explain it to me.
You know, like
Makes
we're
no
also
sense.
kind of to kind of piggyback off what y'all both said. Like if LeBron does start to struggle, right, I don't think there will be any accountability from the Nick Wrights of the world. And I think the catch-all cop-out that they're going to use is going to be, well, LeBron, Father Time is undefeated. LeBron is showing his age. I think if he struggles or something like that, I think that's what we're going to hear as, oh, give him a break, right? Like he's old. Like he's finally breaking down. He finally has lost a step or two, right? I think that's what we'll hear if it starts to happen.
Nick, he will not bite the hand that feeds him. So I respectfully disagree, sir.
Yeah, but you know you have to, like, you know, the media savvy, right? You kind of have to walk the middle a little bit, but in order to get out of their position they've been in, I think that's what they'll use as a way out.
I remember the plethora of reports coming out explaining to all of us that the only reason Duncan lost to LeBron was because of Duncan's age. Everybody remember that? Just a heap of effort going into explaining that the only reason Duncan failed was his age. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, no. His age was never mentioned, was it?
The excuses for LeBron never work for anybody.
Steam Engine actually left. I'm sorry, Speam. I thought you could take the abuse. I love you, bro. Where are you?
I mean, listen, that's the complete hypocrisy of the LeBron James media, the fans of LeBron James. This is what I'm talking about. You can't have a LeBron James channel. You can't really be a true supporter of LeBron James because, once again, this is the world that you live in. They refuse to live in reality. It's not reality when he says these things about the MVP trophies and all these kinds of things. They're always changing the conversation. They can never stay on topic. You know, they'll talk about, oh, this is a regular season award. Then they'll talk about LeBron James and things he does in the postseason. Then they'll say that Michael Jordan's 6 championships are a team accomplishment. But then they'll say that 2016 made him the greatest of all time. They never know what they're talking about. They're all over the place. So once again, like I said, it all comes down to LeBron James and the things that he's done throughout his career and the way he's carried himself. When we talk about the iconic moments of a player, an all-time great, I want you guys to close your eyes and think about the iconic moments of LeBron James. What are the iconic moments? The iconic moments are him yelling and pointing at J.R. Smith. The iconic moments are him pounding and moaning on the bench. It's the tantrum he threw against the Boston Celtics a couple of years ago. These are the iconic moments. The decision. These are the iconic moments of his career. A chase down block. That's it. There's no other iconic moments of LeBron James' career, no matter what his fans want you to believe. There are none. There's nothing, guys. And this is the reality.
Oh, I got an interesting bit of trivia for you guys. I saw a video recently pointing out that Scottie Pippen should have been called for a goaltend in the finals. Was that 97 or 98? It was 98. It was pretty blatant, I got to admit. But so, and it may have actually caused the shot not to go in. But I got to tell you, if you feel comfortable changing the course of a game because of that goaltend, then maybe we should accept the technicality that LeBron's block was also a goaltend. Now, personally, as a competitor, I don't really want to acknowledge that because I do not think that LeBron's hand touching the rim had much to do with that play. I'm not so desperate that I'm going to dismiss that. I actually agree. Don't call that. But if you want to go back and be like, oh, Scottie Pippen goaltended, then let's apply it to the future. And I'll also say that would have just tied.
Gentlemen, I'm sorry. I've had massive lag. So if I lag out again or this live abruptly stops, but let's move on to the next caller because I've finally been able to reconnect here.
Oh, we didn't even know you were gone. We were just going.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew, for calling. I don't know if I can get Dallas on due to my lag.
I see Dallas.
Oh, you see Dallas? I don't.
Yeah. Start talking, Dallas. I think you're on.
Oh, what's happening, fellas? How y'all doing today?
All right, what up?
Doing good.
What's up, big guy?
Yo, I love what y'all talking about today. I'm just gonna say this and I'll leave it. So I love what sports and fitness is saying, man. Keep doing your thing. One thing that I'm always confused about is, to me, it's hard for me to put LeBron James in my top 10 because he doesn't have moments. Like when I think about it, because even guys will talk about LeBron like, well, he's still top 2, and I'm like, oh, top 10. I don't even know if he's top 10 because he don't got the moments. I think about someone like Magic Johnson, which I feel like they don't talk about enough as far as one of the GOATs. This guy's winning championships as a rookie, scoring 42 in a game where your best player gets hurt. I mean, he doesn't get enough praise. I feel like Dwayne Wade doesn't get enough praise. If you compare LeBron's first 3 to 4 years versus Dwayne Wade's 3 years, Dwayne Wade's first 3 to 4 years is phenomenal when you look at it. And then if you look at the moments of the Miami Heat games when LeBron was winning, the key games that needed to be won, Dwayne Wade won those games. I can simply think about one game. I think it was game 3 against the Spurs, the year that Miami beat them. LeBron got in foul trouble, something like that. And I'll tell you another thing that's hard is people don't remember because they get fooled by the numbers. They'll see that he has 30-something points and be like, oh, he did this. But a lot of times, after the game has been won, he'll be in the game scoring. So you'll think that he's dominated. But Dwayne Wade was making all those moments in that game. They got them back in that series. They were down 2-1. They lose. This game is over. Dwayne Wade plays a phenomenal game. It's 2-2. It's 2-2 now, so it's a different series. That was that year. The next year, the next time they won against OKC, when they won against OKC, what was it? Game 3 when he was cramping on. LeBron was cramping up. It was just Mario Chalmers and Dwayne Wade balling. So I don't think Dwayne Wade gets enough credit historically when you look at how good he was. So I just want to leave it with that. Like, go ahead.
No, yo, listen, man. See, what you bring up is the point that we're always talking about a lot, is how the LeBron James fans, they never want to give LeBron James teammates any credit. So they're always talking about their help. LeBron James fans, the media, they spend more time talking about Michael Jordan's help, everyone else's help. Oh, this guy had that guy. This guy played with this guy. This guy's team drafted this dude. All of these guys, but like the things that you mentioned, there have been many, many times throughout LeBron James' career when those quote-unquote other guys, those quote-unquote bums, they stepped up, whether it was Timofey Mozgov or Matthew Dellavedova or Tristan Thompson or Ray Allen or Shane Battier or Mike Miller, an Iman Shumpert, a Richard Jefferson, a Kyrie Irving, a Kevin Love, whoever it was, an Anthony Davis or Rajon Rondo, whoever it was, Danny Green. These guys stepped up in certain times of LeBron James' career. The problem has been LeBron James has been inconsistent. His teams have been inconsistent. And why is that? Because he always forces all of those guys I just mentioned to do things that they're not used to doing, to play outside and play a different role. So that's why you have a 4-6 record. It has nothing to do with the lack of help or the competition LeBron James win again. And that's what you're talking about. They never give his help any credit.
Yeah.
Dallas, thank you for calling. Dallas, thank you for calling. We're going to move on to the next guys. I got to read some super chats as well. The last guy wouldn't have been on as long as if I didn't have crappy connection. But thank you for calling, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yo, thanks.
All right, let's read some of these super chats real fast, and then D. Davis.
Yo, Uncommon Sense is in there.
Uncommon Sense.
Yeah, he sent a super.
Uncommon Sense. You just you ghosted us. You got to come back to the show sometime.
Yeah, he said that in super chat.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
awesome.
said,
Yeah.
he'll be back in a few weeks. Yeah.
Awesome. I'll get to it in a second. Justin Messenger says, "Hoop God, how do you think opposing players will treat Bronny on the court? Do you see LeBron having to come to his defense this season?"
Oh, see,
That's a good
that's going to be a dilemma for because right. So, in fairness to Bronny, they're going to attack him the same way that Lonzo Ball was attacked because again, LeVar Ball talked him up, got him in the league, but the only difference is Lonzo's a significantly better player in college, so he was able to eventually, find his way and get that heat off of him. As far as Bronny, I mean, unless LeBron can get some of his clutch clients on other opposing teams, no, they're going to attack him because they're going to look at it as a slap in the face. Okay, you try to just circumvent the process of getting to the league, and then you have this one kid over here who literally had to go about going to college for 3 years, scrapping and fighting, trying to keep a position, in college, and then ultimately getting drafted and knowing that he has to work 3 times as harder than somebody else who just gets out. No, they're not just going to sit back and just allow that to happen. So they're going to attack him with the same way they attack Lonzo Ball. Only difference is Bronny's barely 6 feet, so he doesn't really have that size advantage like Lonzo Ball did. So that's what I'm seeing that's going to happen in the foreseeable future.
All right, Ed Frank super chats for $10 for the panel. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Speam Engine says for AOH's time wasted, $199 US dollars. Just the
love
messenger.
You, Speam. Come back for some more abuse.
Just the messenger is asking me a question, but sent it to another channel. Says, Dart, have you guys ever discussed what might have happened if the Lakers did not gut the team to get AD? How would that young Laker team have done? We haven't done a whole episode on it. I'm sure we've talked about it at some point. How would they have done? I hate being the woulda, coulda, shoulda guy. I don't think they would have done well because what have they done otherwise? Those same guys. They're great individual players. A lot of them have come to be, but I don't think they would have done better versus getting AD. But
I actually wanted to ask Scap this question because people like to talk about how bad the Lakers were doing at that time, but they were going through the rebuilding process and they had brought in quite the talent. And you guys have heard the saying, the night is darkest before the dawn. It may have been about the time for the Lakers to turn it around. I mean, you go through the building process. I mean, how come whenever it comes to LeBron James, there's no building process? It's just, assemble something that's ready to go immediately. Now, the Lakers went through, and Kobe fans might get sensitive. I think Kobe had a little bit to do with this, but, with his expensive farewell tour and everything. But then after Kobe, things went downhill, and they also got Jeannie Buss, which caused things to go downhill. But they did some incredible drafting. And you know what? If you want to look at the long term, you take guys that you drafted and play them together. You don't know that in a couple of years, you don't have a damn near dynasty on your hands. Yes, it is woulda, coulda, shoulda. But again, you didn't give them a chance. So you can't call them trash. You assembled the team and then destroyed it before you even gave them a chance to see what they could have done.
Real fast, I don't see uncommon sense in here.
I don't either.
Somebody said he was in the house, and I thought somebody said he super chatted. I don't see it.
Yeah, no, it came up.
Let me see if I can scroll down and find it.
Yeah, it was like a whole paragraph. He said he wants to get back in on the loop with us, and hopefully in a couple of weeks, he said.
The more I listen to that track he wrote for me, that guy's very talented. There's some nice details in there. That's a great jam.
Yeah. He's got a good channel, man. He's the man.
Dart, it was at 12:26. He said it was a super chat, and he said, "Shout out to you all. Hoping I can get back in the loop in a few." Ron Janeway, we hope your day is going terrible. That is the part right there.
I don't see it. I don't know. Somebody probably, like Hoop God, somebody probably fucking blocked him on my channel or something.
No.
Who are your moderators?
No.
That I gotta police my moderators. I'm gonna take
are
all their
they?
rights away. Well, Hoop God's one of them.
Oh.
and he's
Hoop God's one of 'em.
timeouting people. He probably timeouted Uncommon Sense.
Look how dark
No.
his room is. Can you see the screen, Hoop God?
Wait a minute. I brought the light. You should be able to see me now.
Put it on. We want to see your handsome face. Come on, turn that light on.
we got D Davis here, but thanks Uncommon Sense. I did not see that. So somebody, I don't know what happened. Anyway, thank you. But D Davis, sir, how are you today?
Good, good. How you doing?
Great. You got a question or comment?
I got a question for the panel. It's a serious question. How long can LeBron James be the oldest teenager in America, or at least in NBA history? Because they have this narrative going about his longevity and him being 40 or however old he is. And when I look at him on the court, I don't see it. I don't see that elder statesman of the NBA that we had with Bird, Magic, Kareem, Jordan, Isaiah, when they got into their older years as players and when they were winding down, there was a respect for those players. And we see how he conducts himself on the court and the flopping, the crying to the refs, getting fans kicked out of the game, things like just juvenile things. His school with children that can't read or write. And it's just very teenage-like. And I said last week, this is the year of exposure, but how long can this continue where he's just going to be a big man child? He came in the league as a man child, and he's going to go out exactly as that, a man child.
Well, I think it's like your statement. I don't think he's going to change until then. That's all I got to say about that.
What's
No,
your
you're
name?
right,
I
man.
can't see it. I can't see it on the screen.
What happened?
I'm sorry. Oh, D Davis is his name.
Oh.
Sorry, I just put this super.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'll remove this super chat.
Go ahead, Robin. You go first.
Yeah, no, I mean, see, and this is part of the things that we're talking about also, man. You hit it right in the head when you talk about the other things. You know, sometimes people will say things like, oh, you guys are talking about things that are not basketball, the on-court game. No, what we're talking about is your sportsmanship, being a sportsman, being a true professional, being a true competitor, man. I'm not going to get behind somebody just because they average 25 points a game for 20 straight seasons, but they're walking off the court early, they're flopping around, they're not shaking hands, they refuse to play in a system to ingratiate their teammates. Like you said, you're blaming your teammates. You won't be coachable all these years. This man's still not coachable. How many more coaches we got to get fired and point the finger at? LeBron, I want you guys to think about something. LeBron James is the only superstar player that I can remember in my history watching basketball that they talk about the general manager, they talk about the ownership and what they didn't do for him. No one else gets these things mentioned except for two guys, Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And think about the dynamic. Michael Jordan had the greatest general manager in sports history. He had the greatest owner in sports. Meanwhile, LeBron James had the worst owner. He had the worst general manager. This is how far they've gone to excuse LeBron James. So, man, you hit it right on the head, man, when you talk about all these things and why LeBron James will never be a top 10 player. He'll never be in that conversation. When you hear the things they cry about in the comment section, they don't dispute anything. All they do is laugh and say some nonsensical, weird statement, man.
May I ask the caller, what's your age?
40.
40. Okay. I mean, compared to me, you're young. What do you think has happened? You know, these people kind of blow my mind. And then I stop and I look around and I'm like, well, shit, the parents of these punks are also punks. I mean, we're multiple generations into just raising people wrong. That's part of what explains it to me. Like, they've actually been raised to think that victimhood is the right approach to solving problems. I'd like to get.
I'm a social worker.
Uh-huh.
So I know exactly what you're talking about. Sorry to cut you off. So
No.
The lack of accountability from it starts with parents, and what professional sports was, or what sports was, not professional sports, but high school sports in general back in the day, was if your parents didn't, have a grip on you, and coach was going to steer you in the right direction. And with the emergence of AAU now, that's glorified LA fitness for kids. So they ain't learning nothing. They just running up and down the court, shooting shots. Coaches ain't pulling them to the side and talking about team. It's all about individual. You got these bonehead parents. Kids ain't gonna make no NBA, but they paying all this money for kids with marginal talent to just be misguided and misdirected by adults who ain't gonna show them the right way, just taking their money. I'm
Is
sorry,
that the parents? Is that the parents? Is that the parents hoping to God the kids are going to solve their problems, or what? What is that about?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This is a money making venture. Putting their kids in these all of these sports: football, baseball, basketball. They hoping their kids gonna make it big.
But they simultaneously don't want those kids to be disciplined or coached with any like true discipline, because I guarantee those same types of parents are the ones that come at a coach for criticizing somebody.
Real fast, because we got to move on to the next caller. D. Davis, is that your name, and are you actually running for mayor?
Nah, man. I just came up with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for calling, sir. We're gonna let Monalando on, but appreciate your continued support and calling.
Yo, thanks a lot.
Thanks for the time.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Monalando here. Welcome, sir. How are you today?
Hey, what's going on, the panel? Salute to the panel.
What up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
You have a question or a comment?
I just had a comment about the longevity thing and the situation of the Lakers this upcoming season. So starting with the longevity thing, like I don't know if it's the only LeBron that's only allowed to have longevity, because there's other players who had longevity as well, but no one says nothing. Michael Jordan could have had it, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't even need to prove anything. He proved it. What else? Okay, Tiger Woods just retired. Do they say longevity for him? Exactly. So why is this longevity thing so special? This just goes to show you how weak your arguments are for LeBron James fans. You have to go to longevity and skip over everything else, because once you see the truth, then it's just nothing but denial. So that's what I had to say about the longevity thing, and I want to hear what you guys think about it. And the upcoming season, I just want to say this one last thing, and then I'm done for this. This upcoming season, is this going to be another scapegoat kind of season? Because JJ Redick is going to be a disaster. Or is it going to be focused on LeBron? Or is it going to be on Bronny? Who is it going to be focused on?
Name
they can't be talking about
a scapegoat season for LeBron.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of bad things always came out when you go to like Lakers fans channels. They're always tarnishing like the other players like D'Lo and Austin Reeves and Taurean Prince and Darvin Ham. I'm just like, okay, bro, you guys have all this excuse for other people, but not the same energy towards LeBron. Like clearly, my eyes see LeBron is the main reason, and when he's not playing, they're winning. So I don't know. Oh man. So what do you think about this, Robin?
Yeah, yo, I want to just touch on. I'll go briefly. I just want to touch on.
This is not a comment. This is a question.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, anyway, I joke about how everyone says they want to comment and then they ask a question at the end of it. Anyway, Robin, what do you got to?
Yeah, I don't need a comment, a question mark at the end of anything. I can just rant off anything. It don't matter, man. You guys know me, man. But I just wanted, when you talked about the longevity, you're right on the money with this stuff. This is what we're talking about. The longevity, it's fraudulent. It's all smoke screens and mirrors. This thing about longevity, man. Can we say that Michael Jordan had true longevity on both sides of the ball? The man was leading the league in scoring and being first team all defense in the beginning, or towards the beginning of his career and at the end of his career. No one's been able to duplicate that on both sides of the ball. So that's called longevity in that aspect. If we think about the MVPs alone, Michael Jordan had true longevity. If you go throughout NBA's history, most players either have won their MVPs at the beginning or maybe the middle of their career, not in all three areas. So Michael Jordan won MVPs in the beginning of his career, the middle of his career, and to this day, Michael Jordan is still the only NBA player in history to retire after winning an MVP trophy. The man was literally forced to retire after winning an MVP. To this day, that's called longevity. Did John Stockton not have longevity? The man played 82 games, basically, essentially his entire career, led the league in assists for what, 9 straight seasons? That's longevity, man. You're telling me Tim Duncan didn't have true longevity on both sides of the ball, the leadership, the hustle on both sides, being the anchor? How many years in a row did the Spurs make the postseason and were a top defense with Tim Duncan there? That's called longevity. Hell, even Kevin Garnett won a Defensive Player of the Year award in like his 13th season, man. That's called longevity. Dirk Nowitzki won a championship, a Finals MVP in 2011. That was like, what, his 12th season, man? And he was going to work against a legendary super team. And no one made excuses for him. We can argue about longevity all day long, man. LeBron James has been resting on defense to get this longevity going, which is why it's fraudulent.
All right. Monolondo, thank you for calling. We're going to let Ed in, and we're going to shut this thing down after that.
Sounds good. Enjoy your days, guys.
Yep,
Thanks,
thank you
man.
for calling.
Thank you. Sorry for yelling.
Never apologize for yelling.
Oh, what? Never mind. I'll go off on a tangent. Welcome, Ed. How are you today, sir?
Hey, great. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting this season. This is just a comment. But last season, LeBron ducked a number of great players. He ducked Giannis. He ducked Edwards. He ducked, I want to say, Wemby at one point. And what do you think he's going to be like as far as this season? How many games do you project him to play? And what do you think that's going to have an effect on as far as their excuses for him? That's kind of my, I guess, comment.
The comment question.
You can call it that.
But what are the excuses going to be? Is that essentially your question?
Well, Nick Wright set the stage to blame Pelinka already in the offseason. And of course, you've got JJ Redick. But I mean, the list is endless. I mean, they'll blame anyone. And
I want to
go ahead.
No, this is something that drives me crazy, especially when people use the expansion era argument. You're still, even with the expansion era and even to today, like people pretend that the difference is that when there were 22 teams in the league and 30 teams and how it expanded during that time, that it watered down the league. With that same logic, the league is the most watered down it's ever been then, because you still have more teams, because it's not like there weren't great basketball players. You know, there's only 500 jobs in the NBA. So you're saying with those 8 teams picking up 100 other players that it watered down the league so bad. The point is I'm kind of going off on a sidebar here, but the point is that a lot of people just blame things that just it doesn't make any sense. If you can blame everything and everyone around you, the bottom line is that you didn't win a championship, or you didn't do any of this, or whatever the goal was at the end of something. You know, saying that there were 100 more players in the early 90s, the late 80s, early 90s, you know, and through the end of the expansion, it doesn't make any sense. So the adding 15 more of the best players in the world really ruined the league. Come on, get real, dude. It's stupid. Like it makes no sense. That's something that kills me about that argument. And if that's the case, then this is more of a sidebar, but just to the point of it is that today's league is the most watered down it's ever been with that logic. Anyway, to the point of it is that, yeah, if they blame Rob Pelinka, I wouldn't be surprised. They're probably going to blame that he's distracted with Bronny playing on this team. I don't know. They're going to figure out something, anything.
They're going to do the same thing. They're going to do the LeBron James needs more help. It's the same old song. Listen, that one's going to be in the back pocket regardless. It don't matter, man. LeBron James could be playing with Michael Jordan, and they would still say he need more help. It don't matter. It would never matter, man. That's the way it always goes. No matter who his teammates are. You know, someone mentioned something earlier about, what would the Lakers do, if they would have kept the core intact. You can't even ask that question. And if, because LeBron James has never proven that he actually would invest into helping players progress and build players up. He's never done that. We could ask that question about Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan showed throughout his career that he could build players up through practice, build up their confidence. I want you guys to think about something, man. We talk about the teammates of LeBron James and the excuses, man. Michael Jordan needed help, right? They'll say Michael Jordan needed help. When we think about Scottie Pippen, what did Scottie Pippen allow Michael Jordan to do? Scottie Pippen allowed Michael Jordan to take a rest on the bench for a couple of minutes and not have the game get blown out of hand. When those early years, without a Scottie Pippen, the development of some of these other guys, Michael Jordan would come out of the game for a minute or two, and all of a sudden the Bulls are down 15 now. So what Scottie Pippen allowed was Michael Jordan to take a rest, help Michael Jordan share the load on the defensive end, also do what? Take the ball out of his hands without having to waste energy dribbling the ball up the court. That's a lot of energy. These are the things that Michael Jordan's teammates did. The other guys, the B.J. Armstrongs, the Paxsons, the Oakleys, the Horace Grants, the Cartwrights, why were they there? Those guys were there to what? To stand around and be in spots to catch the ball when Michael Jordan gets double teamed or triple teamed and knock those shots down, rebound the basketball. LeBron James needs guys to actually play defense for him. He needs those guys to be the defenders. You need the Dwayne Wade. You need the Anthony Davises. You need the Shane Battiers. You need these other guys that are known for D3 and D to cover for LeBron James' deficiencies. What does he need? He needs to be the floor space with shooters because he cannot shoot. Space the floor out so he can drive the lane. It's a lot different.
All right. There's another super chat, and then I was going to shut, or two more super chats. I was going to shut this thing down. Justin Messenger has been blessing everybody on the panel today. Thank you very much, sir or ma'am.
Help me, I ain't poor. It worked. Yo, we love all you guys out there in the chat, man, for real.
$4.99 US to Robin. Great point from that caller. MJ did not need longevity. He did everything he had to do in just 13 full seasons. He did not need 21. What do you have to say about that, Robin? And then this other one. Yeah,
that's Michael Jordan, guys. Remember, he did more with less, and he did more in less time than any other great star in the history of the game, guys. Those are the facts, man.
Well, I need to do thorough research on this to say something so bold, but can you guys name a game, maybe if any at all, but how many games can you come up with throughout Jordan's career that he wasn't the guy carrying the load or the one that was expected to come through when needed? You know,
the
scoring, and maybe LeBron fans will want to point to the two times that he passed to someone else setting up a great shot, Paxson and Kerr. But, you know, can you guys just tell me which season or which team or which version of the Bulls was not hinged upon Michael Jordan's performance? Because I can tell you plenty of times where LeBron's teammates were carrying the load.
I think it's one playoff game. Scottie stepped up, and I think he had like a 37, 38-point game. Jordan was dealing with that wrist injury. In the finals, Jordan was always the one who had to carry that offensive load and close out the games in the fourth quarter. But I like the point you mentioned, because when they talk about Paxson and Kerr, well, they won't tell you, well, who just lit up those opponents for like the last 7 or 8 points consecutively? Michael Jordan. So him and Phil Jackson playing chess, you're knowing that the opponent is now game planning for Michael Jordan. So, yes, that does what? Sets up easier shots for Paxson and Kerr, in which they both converted. So, yeah.
Paxson's points were the only points that weren't Jordan's.
Right.
Yeah. No, but that's not a bold statement, man. AOH, that's not a bold statement, man. You're right. Yes, offensively, when we talk about Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls, offensively, he carried the Bulls year in and year out, and that's not a knock on any of the Bulls players. When we were growing up watching the Chicago Bulls, this is what I always tell people. Those guys played a role offensively. Everyone fed off of Michael Jordan in the triangle offense. This is why we say Michael Jordan sacrificed. He didn't just dribble the ball around and do whatever he wanted to do. He allowed Scottie Pippen to bring the ball up. He allowed him to initiate the offense. And these guys fed off Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan could go post up on the block, and Scottie Pippen could pass the ball to Michael Jordan, cut off the ball, and Michael Jordan could give it right back to him. These are the kinds of things that we're talking about. Everyone's watching Michael Jordan, and then Scottie Pippen benefiting from playing with Michael Jordan. The same things that you guys said about the other players. Offensively, Michael Jordan never played with a score, guys, a consistent score that could go get his basket at a high level consistently. That's the key word again, consistently. Yes, Scottie Pippen could score in spurts here and there, but he wasn't consistent with the jump shot. He wasn't consistent with the handle, with the moves. So once again, it was Michael. I mean, look at the numbers Michael Jordan was putting up. What's the funny thing is that all these numbers he was putting up, they were losing. Why? Because he had to wait for the development of the other guys, man.
All right. We got another super chat that came in from Just a Messenger for me. Again, thank you. $4.99 US. Those who use expansion have no idea what they're talking about, and I love your iconic face. Keep crushing these fools.
Hey, I take it back. Don't send super chats to these other guys.
Yeah, it's no, I never really liked that expansion argument, especially because you ask about the 30 teams and they say, oh, well, the talent's just leveled out. Okay. All right. That makes all the sense in the world.
Dude, some of those expansion teams were stacked.
Yeah.
Well, wait, Dart. Well, by their logic, that makes Bill Russell the GOAT, right?
Yeah, well, or at least that the winning isn't diluted as much at the very least, because it's not that they say he's the GOAT; they excuse his winning, or you know what I'm saying? They say, oh well, his winning doesn't count as much because he went through series that weren't 7 and they had less rounds, only 2 rounds to get through the Atlantic Division if they were the first seed, all that nonsense.
Gotcha. So when it's Jordan, the goalpost is here, but when it's Bill Russell, the goalpost is here. When it's Kobe, the goal. I got you.
Yeah. Speed Engine also has super chatted again, and he wanted to apologize to everybody in the chat for something, probably for interrupting AOH for once. But anyway, yeah, let's shut this thing down, guys. Robin, what do you got to say to the people?
Oh man, I think I've been saying enough. It's the same thing. Everybody in the chat, I want to thank everybody for real. Once again, I know we talk about the donations and things of that nature, man. We really appreciate those things for real, man. I know that money is hard to come by for a lot of people out there. And, that's not why we're here, man. But we really appreciate anyone that's ever, like I said, donated. It don't matter what it is, a penny, a dollar. It don't matter, guys. So much respect, man. You guys know why we're here, man, to stop the lies, stop the narratives, set the record straight. And that's what it's always going to be about. And we're going to continue to do that. A lot of you guys have been with us since day one, man, when there was no one watching our live streams, man. So like my man said earlier, man, this thing all came about organically. This is how this show built up, this Sunday stream, man. So, Nick, man, shout out to you. AOH, once again, the czar of the video footage. Thank you, man. My man, Hoop God, as well. Dart, man, thank you again, guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one, man.
Nick, what do you got to say?
Yeah, man, fun as always. Always love to come on and kick the ideas around. So, fun as always. That's all I got to say.
AOH.
All right, it's great to see you guys, and I'll just close with sharing some thoughts. I was comparing myself to Gilbert Arenas, and I thought, it's true, I'm not as rich as Gilbert. I don't have the followers that Gilbert has. I've also never had to stay in a halfway house or had 12 turnovers in a game.
I also want to say thank you to all the fans, of course, and the listeners and all the super chats. Of course, we always have to thank the fans.
Thank you, guys.
Hoop God, what do you got to say?
Yeah, man, just following up what everybody said. Appreciate the chat. It's always great talking basketball with you guys. And again, it's imperative that we destroy these narratives. Had another great episode.
Yep. And before I say my goodbyes, what do y'all think about doing just an open panel, just open questions, have people call in right out the gate for next week? You want to try that, or is that
do it?
Yeah,
that'd be a good change up.
Yeah.
Let's throw a knuckleball.
Give the people what they want.
Yep. So next week, all y'all can call in. It'll just be a straight up call-in show, and I'm sure it will get crazy.
Yeah,
anyway.
We'll ramble on.
So, but yeah, thank you all. Thank you all as the panel for joining again this week. Somebody was asking about Scap. Apparently, he had food poisoning, so he didn't show up today.
Take back, Scap.
He didn't want to come in like Michael Jordan today. He didn't want to come in.
No flu game for him or flu stream for him.
All right, shout out to Scat, man.
Yep, and then I looked on my YouTube and it showed up, but it's not shown on Restream. Restream, if you're listening to me, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to end my tenure with you after this subscription comes up because it doesn't make any sense. Anyway,
Woo! Ouch.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, shout out to Uncommon for coming through,
Shots
man.
fired.
Yep. There's just been too many hiccups with this thing, man. Anyway, Restream, it was fun while it lasted. Got a couple more months. I might ride it out. I might just preemptively end my experience with you. So sorry, Restream. Anyway, but yeah, Uncommon Sense. Hopefully, maybe he'll come next week, or I guess he said he'll be in the next couple weeks, and then hopefully get Scat back. Johnny Arnett has not been answering my emails, so I don't know.
Oh no.
Maybe he's doing more unbiased things. I don't know. But yeah, thank you all. And Lamont Avery said Scap Attack had a crap attack. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, thank you all again. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you, chat. You're the ones that make this as fun as it is, at least speaking for myself. And then support AOH's GoFundMe. And for everyone, Michael Jordan fans are the best.